guys welcome back to my channel. I'm just trying to like get rid of this glare a little bit. Nope, doesn't work. I'll just move over some. Alright, hopefully the glare doesn't bother you guys too much. I'm gonna try to move my feet up a little bit. Anyway, I wanted to come on and talk to you guys about weight loss surgery, U.S. versus Mexico, or anywhere else, because there are different places you can get it as well besides Mexico. I just see a lot of Mexico places. Now, disclaimer before you guys watch this video, I'm not telling you guys anything like harsh about Mexico. I haven't even had weight loss surgery in the U.S. for me to like tell somebody not to have surgery somewhere else besides the U.S. I'm basically just going off of what I've seen and the differences and the similarities off the two. Number one, I have not heard anyone say anything bad about getting weight loss surgery in Mexico. The one thing I did hear about Mexico was the area. A lot of the areas are not the nicest in Mexico, but that doesn't mean the hospital isn't nice and they don't have the hospitality. Number two, I heard that they're very old school. The buildings are very old. The equipment is very old and things of that nature. That doesn't mean that they don't know how to do the surgery. Sometimes keeping it old-fashioned is the best way, so that's not something that you're like, oh, I don't want to have it. I think one of the main reasons I've noticed, or in my opinion, why I wouldn't want to have weight loss surgery in Mexico is because me personally, I want the visits. When you get weight loss surgery in Mexico or anywhere else outside of the USA, you cannot go to that doctor physically for your 6 weeks, your 8 months, whatever situation it is for the updates. Now you can, but it's just going to be costly. And if it was that serious, I would have just had it in the United States in the first place. So, I mean, you can do like Skype. I'm pretty sure they offer that, or FaceTime and things of that nature. But for me, and I know for a lot of people that are having weight loss surgery, everybody's, reasoning is different for having weight loss surgery. But the main thing is to stay in contact with your doctor, your primary physician, and things of that nature, the nurses that, you cater to or cater to you and you built that relationship with. And I feel like a lot of the times when you have the doctor that's outside of the USA, you can't do that. I've noticed a lot of the women I've seen that has had weight loss surgery outside of Mexico, about like 6 or 7 of them, or outside of the USA, they usually go back after a year, just to either, whether it's vacation or, to see the doctor. And, I don't know. There was one woman that I seen here on YouTube, and I actually follow her on Instagram. And she personally, did her reasonings on why she decided to do it. She did it outside of Mexico, and she really enjoyed it. And she said, her personally, she doesn't need the visits. And I was like, yo, that is like spot on. Like, if you don't need the visits, and if you don't need to go there, and if you, if you feel like something is going wrong, some women have complications after the first week or second week or after the month. And I mean, you could go to the emergency room, but 9 times out of 10, the emergency room always says, go back to your doctor. And it's like, fuck, I can't go back to my doctor because he's all the way in Thailand. You know what I mean? Like I said, you can always Skype them and things like that. But it's for me, and I can only talk about me and how I would feel. There's nothing like getting that experience hands-on to how you're feeling. Katrina, I saw you with a comment. My cousin had was in Mexico, and they did her sleeves backwards, and she was sick. And the second she woke up, and on top of this day, she's sick for 3 years and passed away. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear about your cousin Katrina. And I mean, like I said, no offense, but that could happen in America. But I feel like it's a lot harder. I mean, she probably went through. Alright, I should be back on. I'm trying to move away from this glare. But, yeah, like, and then people say it's less expensive to do. The only thing that's different, really, another thing is, the cost is actually more. To do it in Mexico, hey, Khalil, good morning, Khalil, actually, it's 8:11, good morning. Make sure you thumbs up this video, Khalil. I gotta catch up on your video. I see you're posting like crazy. One day you were on here at like 3 or 4 a.m. I know I'm like a night owl. I've seen the videos, but I wasn't like in the mood to watch YouTube, but I definitely seen your videos. Um, but yeah, another thing I noticed is when you're doing it outside of the USA, it's more expensive when you're paying for the ticket. I'm pretty sure you want somebody to go with you, and I mean, if I'm going with someone basically to take care of them, I don't know if I'm gonna pay like the amount that they're paying. I know a lot of people. I know, cause I don't have the money to just throw up to go somewhere. You know what I mean? I mean, I'll pay you back, but like I don't have that money up front. A lot of people that bring their father, their mother, their spouse. Well, spouse is probably different, but they don't have the money right then and there. So a lot of the times, the person that's having the surgery usually pays for that, and that's another 5, 6, 700 for their back and all things like that. So usually the pricing that I see is about anywhere from 4,500 to like 7,000, um, and that's a lot of money because I think max with my insurance, I'm only paying. I pay up to 3,800, but when I looked at the site and all that stuff, I should be paying up to 20 2,400, and that's still with like all the doctor visits and all that stuff. Um, and another thing about me, and like I said, I can only talk about my experience. I don't have to pay copay, so they actually bill me. So that's pretty cool because if you know anything about hospital bills, they won't um they won't make you pay hospital bills right away, and they won't put like a late fee on it for a really long time. Well, at least I know for my hospital, they won't put it in collection for about 2 years or a year, I think, of the surgery. Um, Also, after a while, if it does go to collections, they will pay it after a while. One of my ultrasounds, which was like $2 fucking thousand, and I had insurance with my mom and my father. Side note, it went into collections and messed up my credit, but after 2 years, they paid it and it went away, and my credit went up 50 points. Not saying I'm going to do that because I actually have the money for the surgery, but I'm just saying, it's options, as well as my hospital actually has payment plans where you can do like a payment plan with them, and you're doing like 100 a month or 200 a month until your bill is paid. So there are options around the whole no insurance or stuff like that. Now, the biggest advantage I think with having weight loss surgery outside of the USA is not going through all the tests. And for us in the U.S., that's really what all the money is like going to get your blood work, going to get the sleep apnea, going to get the clearances, like all that stuff is all the money. And for when you're going outside of the country, you're really just paying for the procedure, the stay, and things like that. Because now this is what I don't want to speak on. I don't really know what type of clearances you go through um, when you go to a different country. I'm pretty sure you have to go through some type of clearance where they check, something in your body. But what I do know is it's not like the whole runaround that we do in the States where your insurance wants you to go through 3 months of this, or like me, it's 4 months of weight management, or 6 months, or honestly, some people it's a year, and I kind of think that's ridiculous. A year of being weighed and all that shit, I think that's a little bit too much. But when I even went for the process, I was like, yo, max is 6 months. Like, I do not want to do more than 6 months of weight management. And luckily, my insurance is telling me that I don't have any type of month where I have to do weight management. I think they're wrong. The office told me it was 4, so I'm just going with the 4. Um, I think probably the biggest advantage for me is that I don't have any like illnesses or diseases besides being morbidly obese. Like I don't have to go through further testing for my heart, for my lungs, for diabetes, for high blood pressure, for I don't know about sleep apnea. That's the last one I have to do. So that's how I feel about that. But like I said, for me personally, I would really enjoy going to some of the well, I mean, anybody can go to support groups though, so that's different. If you had your surgery outside of USA, you can still go to any support groups. Those are free, and like anybody can go to those. You don't even have to have surgery to go to a support group. But to actually go to like an actual doctor, which you still can go to, like you can still go to your primary doctor. It's just like your surgeon, the one that you research and you confide in, and you I did a lot of research on the program because I don't want to go, you don't want to go to a program that you don't like, you know what I mean? So if you guys just joined the live, I'm honestly just talking about why I decided to do the U.S. route instead of the Mexico route. Make sure you guys thumbs up this video to show this video some love. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, if you guys know anybody that had surgery, definitely let me know down below, or comment if you're still in the video. I'm trying to get this damn glare out of here. But yeah, that's honestly how I feel about the whole thing. I know that they both do the same thing. Like I said, I've seen women that has had the surgery, and I feel like people that I've seen that had the surgery in Mexico, I noticed that they take a lot more time off, and that's really because you really need, you really have to let your body rest, especially when you're not going to the 1 week or 2 week post-op to even talk to somebody to know if you're doing okay. But like I said, I know they have the whole FaceTime, call me and stuff like that. But and I'm pretty sure you can show the person your incisions on FaceTime and Skype and all that stuff. But like I said, me personally, I'd rather have someone there touching it and cleaning it, and well, I know they're going to show me that as well. But I think it's a personal preference. If you're someone that said you wanted to have surgery in a month or two, definitely, and you don't like the waiting game, because me personally, I keep saying that, but I have like a lot of stuff going on. I'm moving soon. I just started my new job. I'm just starting to get the hang of this whole insurance thing, because now I'm on a new insurance. So I know my plan only asks for 4 months, but I'm actually okay waiting like an extra 2. And that's just because, I personally don't want to rush into it. It's a lot that goes into the whole weight loss surgery. Like, I know they cut 80% of your stomach, but you also have to like relearn what to eat, how to eat, how much to eat, social settings, losing a lot of weight at one time. Like, it's a lot to cope. My big thing is like, well, first of all, portion control for me is a big thing. Like, for someone to tell me I can only have 4 ounces of food, like, that's like a lot. But also drinking, like chugging water, is gonna be a big thing, and that's something for me that will take time. Okay, so I was saying, I think it's a personal preference, and I think a lot of the women and men that go outside of the country, it's for reasons of not having insurance, or trying to get the weight surgery a lot faster, or you just feel more comfortable in the person you research, and that person might just be out of the country, or someone that has went out of the country and got it, and you feel a reason to do so. I never felt the reason to go out of the country, and I would say that's because I really like the hospital that is around here. I researched it for about, I would say, a year and a half. The program, or like what you have to do, because I don't think at the time I had insurance. Because last year I didn't have insurance, so I would have been paying out of pocket, and that would have been expensive. But I didn't even think about doing it last year. I just researched the program just in case I wanted to do it. And there's a few women that are in like the PA area, that talked about their experience, or like the Cherry Hill area, which is not that far from me as well. So I looked at their programs as well. But I'm just like so obsessed with the hospital that I had my son at. Like, I really like that hospital, and I recommend it. So I wanted to see what they were offering, and I really like their program. And it's not like a lot. Like, they don't give you the runaround. What was I saying? I believe I talked about this hospital before. I'm just watching this person park. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you trying to park behind me and it's a parking lot? Hi, Jay, and I'm pretty sure this is Nisha. Hi, Nisha. I feel like I have not talked to you forever. I really don't be on lives like that, but all of a sudden, I've been on lives, and I'm literally washing clothes. I hope the glare isn't too annoying. So good morning. How are you this morning? If you haven't already, make sure you thumbs up this video. But if you don't know already, I don't know if you've been seeing my videos. I am getting weight loss surgery, and I'm just talking about the difference between Mexico and USA, and my personal reasons and preferences on why I don't want to get it in Mexico or anywhere outside of the USA. This weather is like so annoying. Like I said, I'm not bashing outside of the USA. It's just my personal preference on why I think people tend to gravitate towards outside of the USA. That's just like when people get their body done. Probably because they've seen somebody in DR or Brazil or Colombia getting it done, or they research a doctor or something like that. Like it's just honestly their personal preference, because I don't think anyone with any surgery just ups and says, "Oh, I'm going to this doctor." You know what I mean? Even when even when you're pregnant, you usually do some research if you want to go somewhere else, or you. Yeah, I don't know why my service is so bad. It's as bad as this damn glare. 8:22. I have to work at 9:30, and I'm up washing clothes as usual. At least I'm doing it. If I wasn't washing clothes right now, I would be at the gym, which is one thing I need to talk about. But if you guys just came into the live, make sure you guys thumbs up this video. I'm simply just talking about my reasonings on why I decided to do the USA route instead of Mexico, and my reasonings on why people tend to go navigate more towards or gravitate more towards the Mexico route. Um, if you guys have any input on it, or if you guys know anybody that did surgery outside of the USA, definitely let's chat about it while I have time. Let's talk about it. Or if anyone is thinking about doing weight loss surgery or have any questions for me, um, I have a whole playlist of my experience. I will probably link that down below if you guys want to check out my playlist. But yeah, what's up with you guys? Ladies like behind me, flashing her. Look at my nail, guys. I literally just took this nail off. My nails are really long, and that's why they look like this. I think I remember you coming in here before because you were like, we have the same name, I think. But why don't you recommend it? What was your experience about the weight loss surgery? Didn't the YouTube get her big cuz? I don't know who that is. She ended up having a lot of complications, and I believe, wow, she died. So that's two people from today. I have no idea. The YouTuber big, I don't know. Honestly, I haven't heard like bad reviews of women getting weight loss surgery in Mexico. Um, I just know, like, you don't know what's going on and stuff like that because you're not going to the regular updates. And honestly, I mean, that's just like somebody else stepping on somebody else's toes on their surgery. Like, yes, you can go to another surgeon in the USA and like tell them your issues or complications, but like it's just different, and it's going to be a longer process because your doctor or your surgeon know what he did and all that stuff, and it's just like a lot. You know what I mean? Like, if you feel uncomfortable, I'm pretty sure you're not going to get on a plane and go back to your nurse or your, you know what I mean? So I just think like it's just such a hassle. Or you have complications. Did the surgery still work out for you though, Keisha? Like, did you still lose weight and all that stuff? Because honestly, you can have complications in the U.S. as well. Um, I just feel like it's easier. It's easier because you're in the fucking U.S. Like, that particular complication can be taken care of instead of waiting too long, and honestly, it being going downhill and unfortunately death. There are complications that are going to happen, or I shouldn't say complications, but further issues that can happen. Like, what do they say that can happen? Like acid reflux, or like, what is that thing called? Um, leaking of the stomach, infection, blood clots. But there's things. I mean, it wasn't anything that I'm like, oh my God, maybe I should rethink it. This stuff is going on. It wasn't anything like that. Um, but complications that like they did something wrong, that's bad. But I mean, some things you already know could happen to you. But yeah. Wait, this is looking at me in the car. Ah, that was funny. Look, I gotta put my clothes in. I think I only have like 5 more minutes. I'm just hoping for the best. I really like my doctor, and I really like. Initially, I only lost 50 pounds from the surgery. It's been a slow journey. About 2 years later, I'm still trying to lose weight. Yeah, 50 pounds, and even and that's something that like I don't know if you probably go to your primary doctor, but like that's something that the surgeons talk about. I mean, yes, you can look on like Google and other YouTubers on what to do, but it's nothing like talking to the professionals. And honestly, that's sometimes best because your physician knows you, and I don't know. Like I said, I like coming on here and talking about my experiences. And, honestly, teaching, hearing about other people's experiences, and what happened, what went wrong, what do you think can change. But it's nothing like talking to the professional. You know what I mean? And I don't care if that person said the same thing that the professional said. It's a professional, and that's their job, and that's what they get paid for. You know what I mean? So like I know there are certain things that you can tweak in your body to make sure that whether you're not getting enough protein, whether you're dehydrated, whether you're not getting enough water, whether you're not working out. It's tons of things that can be going wrong on why you're not losing weight. Maybe the pouch is not right. Maybe there's something else. Like I said, it's always best to talk to the professional. And even, the first time I went in, I felt like, they were giving me so much information that I didn't have questions. But I know that second month, last month, June, I had like, I brought questions in, what was the blood test for? How much weight do you want me to lose? Like, is there, just questions. And I feel like next month, this month coming up, I go back for my third month in about 2 weeks, I'm gonna have more questions, and I just and they don't care, and that's what I really like. Or I would say my nurses don't care, and they want you to ask questions, and they actually tell me like, write some stuff down if you have any questions, and that's because they want you to be as educated as possible. I've heard, I'm watching this person park. I'm so bad because I'm pretty sure people will be watching me park because I suck at parking. But I'm pretty sure, there's some doctors and nurses out there that are all about the money, and I understand that. And I've watched women out here, and I comment on their videos like that is sad. That, you know, I heard this girl. She said at her program, if you gain a pound in I think she had like 6 months, they'll restart the whole program, and that's crazy. I think that's discrimination, and I think that's all about the money. Like you gain 1 pound, and then they're gonna make you restart the 6 months. That's because when you go to see those doctors, that costs money. And I think that's fucking crazy. Because I know with my nurse, I mean, when I went to, sorry guys, when I went to my doctor for my two month update, I was down like 3 pounds. And, they were congratulating me, but they also wanted me to, 3 pounds in a month is not anything to wow about, especially if you're doing what they tell you to do. Plus, if you're exercising, like you should be down at least like 6 or 7 pounds. That means you actually tried. Like me being only down 3 pounds, that clearly meant that I wasn't trying the whole month. Maybe the last week or two, but not the whole month. Like let's be real. And I wasn't. It's not that I wasn't stuffing my face every single day, but maybe 3 times out of the week I was. I mean, let's be real. So and especially because I I'm not gonna be eating this. I'm not gonna be. Oh God, I think my phone. I'm not gonna be having my favorite meals anymore. I definitely noticed I have been eating a little bit more junk. But I'm gonna go, guys, because my phone is just going like in and out. So whoever else is in this video, make sure you guys thumbs up, and I appreciate the input that you guys gave today. Maybe I'll come on again and do a part 2 of this video. Um, but let me go get my clothes before I'm late for work. Bye, guys, and have a good day. Have a great Sunday.